Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today I'm going to use Google's anti-gravity and we will use it with NoCodeBackend MCP feature which we have just launched yesterday. So I'll be creating an application, a SaaS application using anti-gravity, and for the database we'll use NoCodeBackend, right? And it's very easy to basically add the MCP server inside anti-gravity. So let's get started. Just click on these three dots. Here you will find the MCP servers. Click on that and then click on the manage MCP servers. Here you will find this window. Now simply click on this raw config because we are going to add our own MCP server here. And click on that. Here what we will have to do is just go to NoCodeBackend, right? And just copy this MCP server code as it is. And that's it, right? Now simply replace this MCP token with your own API token. So just head back to NoCodeBackend again. Here we'll create an MC API token. So I'll just give it as anti-gravity. You can give any name. Okay, it doesn't have to be anti-gravity, but you can give any name that you want. And here I have my token. I'll just copy to clipboard, right? And I'll just paste my token here. Okay, and we are good to go. Okay, just cancel this out, refresh, click on refresh, and here you go. Now the NoCodeBackend MCP is connected. I'll just cancel this out, back to agent. Now we are good to start creating our application. So I'm choosing Opus 4.5 because this is pretty good model. You can choose any other model that you prefer, but I would suggest to go with a more intelligent model which can understand our prompts better. So what we can do is we can create a CRM application, okay, and we'll store the data inside NoCodeBackend. I'll simply say create a the important part here is we'll just let it know to use NoCodeBackend MCP. This line alone will let it know to use the MCP server from NoCodeBackend. And let's wait. And you can just see out of the box it has started using the MCP tool, okay, our MCP tool, and fetching different tools from the MCP server. For example, integration guide, finding out all the databases and all the stuff. And now it is actually creating the database after analyzing all the information. So you can also see it is running this tool create database from the MCP, from the NoCodeBackend MCP. So I'll just pause until this process completes because it can take a couple of minutes to build this out completely. So it has created this plan, a list of tasks which the anti-gravity is actually going to implement one by one. And I think it will take again few minutes because there are a lot of tasks, right? And this is good actually because this is what we need, a proper end-to-end application, right? Okay, so I believe it has created all the pages and has implemented most of the steps now. Okay, so it has actually implemented all the steps, and right now on the verification stage. We have to just run this command and it will now perform all the verification. Okay, so let's stop the server because we will run the server ourselves through the terminal and then we'll start checking out all the features ourselves. All right, now it's stopped. Let's run the command npm run dev. Okay, and this is what it is also saying us to run. Let's open this. Right, let me move this here, and there you have, right? So now we have pretty decent CRM application, though it has mentioned it as powered by NoCodeBackend. But yeah, you can you need to design your landing page as per your branding and everything. Right, so let's get started. Okay, so I see a beautiful sign up page, and we have sign in page as well. So let me fill all the details here, and let's create the account. And this looks pretty good, right? This actually looks pretty good, and we can start using different features here. Let's add a contact. All right, so we can add a contact here without any issues. Let me add a deal. So deal can also be dummy deal. Value can be $1,000. And let's try to create the deal. And deal is also created successfully, which looks pretty good, and this also looks good. So we actually get a Kanban board here for the deals. This is a pipeline, and now we have one deal under negotiation. If we click this, right, we can change the status here to closed one, and changes are also getting saved properly, and the status is being changed, right? So what this feature means, I'm not sure. Track calls, emails, meetings, and task. Log activity, let's say phone call. I guess completed log activity. Is this kind of to-do thing? I'm really not sure like what this is. Okay. So let's go to dashboard. Okay, so in recent activities, I see this. We have one contact, one active deal with the pipeline value of $1,000. All in all, this looks pretty good. Okay. Now, if I just refresh this page, data is still there, and let's go back to NoCodeBackend. And if I just go to my databases, first of all, let's verify if the database was actually created. And if you can see the data did got created perfectly, right? And this is all getting created via the MCP server, right? We have not created this manually. If I just click on edit, I just want to see the schema. So there you go. So well thought out schema has been designed by anti-gravity and has been implemented through the MCP server, right? So activities, contacts, deals, right? These three tables were created via the MCP server, and different columns, right? Pretty well. So there are foreign keys, different constraints like not null, right? So this looks pretty good. Now what I'll do is, again, the same drill. We'll try to create a new account. I'll just log out and just go get started. Here I'll create a demo too and create the account. I'll just give it a name as, and pretty good, right? This user is not able to see the data from the other user, And what this means, there is a row level security which is built inside NoCode backend. Okay, no filters, nothing. This is all protected. The data of one user is protected from the other user by the row level security which we have implemented inside NoCode backend. But we give you flexibility here. So let's say the contacts, and we want to turn this off. Right now you see the row level security is on, and if we just turn this off, this means this table is now public and the user can see all the contacts. Okay, if I just refresh this page, now you see this one contact, and if I just go inside contact, I can see the contact, and this contact was created by the demo user, right? And we are able to see this inside the demo too. Okay, so if I just go back and just enable the RLS on again, right now this should not work. And so 0 0 and no contacts, and this is what we need right now. Okay, and same drill, you can go and you can create a contact here as well. So the contact is created for demo 2, and we can create, similarly we can create deals like like how we created for the demo 1 user. So this is how easy actually it was creating a setup and setting up a database and creating your application. But in this entire building of our application via anti-gravity, we just focused on designing the application, right? We didn't focused on designing the database, right? This is the main thing we have to notice here. Initially, what we used to do was we used to go to inside NoCode backend, design our database first, and then come back to these 5 coding tools and start integrating with them via the Swagger JSON data, right? That worked, but that was kind of lengthy process there, right? And it was not very flexible as well, which I also admit. So that's why we created this MCP server. Now we are all sitting inside anti-gravity and just focusing on designing the application, right? We are not worried about how the schema should look like. Even though if you are well aware of how the database schema should look like, you can even let anti-gravity know, like you want these kind of tables, these specific tables should be there, or these specific columns should be there in your database. Then anti-gravity will use the MCP server, right? Backend MCP server, and it will create those tables or columns inside inside your database, right? You do not have to touch anything related to NoCode backend here or anything related to UI. Everything is being handled via anti-gravity and the NoCode backend MCP server, right? So now this is actually a complete no-code solution which you have at your hands, right? And this is the result that you get, right? I hope this video was helpful, and in the future we are going to cover more and more vibe coding tools such as Lovable, Replit, right? Or any other tools which support the MCP server. And yeah, so this was all from today's video. In case you have any questions or any queries, just email our support team and we'll get back to you. Thank you and have a great day.